Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant is ridiculous. Okay, this guy, he's a 7-footer. He plays a game of basketball. Essentially, he can do everything. I honestly think he's one of the most interesting players we've ever seen in the history of the game. And he's one of the best. I think on my list, he's definitely top 3. But that's just my subjective opinion. Anyways, today I want to talk about KD. I want to talk about his legacy, certain stats that he puts up and just things that I think people kind of take for granted. And, even myself, when things that I hear and I'm like, bro, that's crazy. But, the guy does it. Dude hoops on a daily basis. He puts up numbers. He wins, and I just want to dive right into this and, say what I have to say my opinion on Kevin Durant. And let's do it. Okay, so the first thing I want to bring up is KD, coming out of Texas into the league. Back then, I was pretty young. I think that was in 2009, right? No, 2007. 2007. I was pretty young. Of course, I didn't know who he was. But, if you look back in the tapes, this guy's just as ridiculous as he is now. Now, of course, he's a lot better now. But the dude was, still 7 feet, shooting above everybody. He was kind of bringing that new mindset of, I'm a big guy, but I can still do everything. And he brought that into the league. So one thing I want to point out that kind of made made me go crazy. This dude, in just his 3rd season, was putting up 30. Okay, now I know we have, guys like Luka. I think he's probably the only one. Maybe Zion will do it next year. Putting up 30 in their 3rd season. But that is just so hard. I don't think people realize how hard that is. And when I personally think about it, I think averaging 10 a game in the league is hard. The defenses are crazy. But, this dude put up 30 in his 3rd season. He put up 32 in, I think, his 7th season. This dude just gets buckets. Obviously, he was in OKC for a while. They got to the finals that one season in 2012. I got to know my dates better. 2012, they get to the finals. They're young. Everything's looking bright. And then obviously James Harden leaves because they didn't want to pay him. So essentially, it's Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant's team. I'd say it's more KD's team just because he was there first. Not a knock on Russ at all, but KD's also just a better player. So, obviously they can't win. They can't get stuff done. They have injuries for the next few years. They end up blowing that 3-1 lead to the Dubs. And, he goes to Golden State, which I know obviously caused a lot of turmoil. People hate him to this day for that. But I actually watched a video, and I don't remember who it was by. If I find it, I'll link it in the description. But it was so dope because it was like the unpopular opinion on Kevin Durant. I think that's what it was called. I'm going to do my best to find it and link it down below, like I said. But one thing that this guy said was so true. Kevin Durant, ultimately, his decision, he made the harder decision in terms of him going to Golden State. Like, he knew he was going to get a ton of hate for it. And therefore, that was the harder decision than him just going to stay. And, if he would have stayed in OKC, of course, he would have gotten the loyalty thing. But he also would have gone, oh, this guy doesn't want to win. So I feel like that's kind of the, there's no way out of it when you're a free agent. Like Giannis, for example, this year, he signs the Supermax, stays in Milwaukee. People are like, oh, this dude doesn't want to win. He just cares about loyalty and what people think. But Kevin Durant going to the Dubs, I think was the best decision for him. I think he was looking at the Celtics. Who else? I don't even know. But the dude wanted to win. He put himself in the best position to win. And to me, if you play sports, you want to win. So he obviously they did that. They went back to back. And then that brings me into tearing his Achilles. So I remember watching that live. It sucked. I was pissed at Raptors fans, or just a few of them, because I remember there was one guy who had a beer. And he's waving, they're all clapping and stuff. But KD tears his Achilles, which in a way kind of wasn't surprising. This guy is, like I said, 7-footer. Tall dudes tend to have a lot of injuries. But what's crazy about Kevin Durant and what makes him different is he does not rely on athleticism. Now, of course, he's very athletic. He can get up and dunk it and do all that stuff. But this dude can rely on pure skill. One of the stats that I actually kept in mind, and when I heard this back when he was doing it, I was like, this is just, this dude can literally not play basketball for 5 years, come back, and have no rust. What I mean by that is, so obviously he tears his Achilles. He's out for about, a year and a half because of COVID and everything, the bubble. He comes back, in his first 17 games, this guy's putting up 30 points a game on 53% from the field, 45 from three, and 87 from the line. I mean, come on. Like, that's not funny at all. Like, a guy coming off an Achilles, you would think he'd probably average 17, 18, kind of like what John Wall is right now. But no, I mean, this is Kevin Durant. He can shoot the ball like crazy. That actually makes me think, in the game where he came back against the Raptors, what was it, game 5? He made 3 threes. He was 3 for 3 from the three-point line while he was on the court. So I just wanted to make this video and just talk about how great I think he is. A lot of people hate him, obviously, and a lot of LeBron fans hate him just because, there's a lot of comparisons between the two. But I think that when he's healthy, obviously he's one of the best players in the world. But to me, I think he's the best player in the world. I'm going to get a lot of hate for saying that. I don't know. It's a hard debate to think of because I think LeBron is really good too. Maybe they could be co-best players in the world. But this guy's just ridiculous. A lot of people hate on him. And I get it. But at the same time, we got to appreciate greatness. I mean, I don't think we're ever going to see a guy just like Kevin Durant come into the league again. Now, yeah, there's going to be similar guys. But the dude hoops. He was born to hoop. He's also a good guy. I think he's misinterpreted off the court. There are a few times when I kind of thought he was a jerk. But, you just got to get to know him, I feel like. And this is just a Kevin Durant praise video. The dude's ridiculous. I can't wait to see what him and the rest of the crew, if they're healthy, do in the rest of the season. And, I love you. Keep being great and always keep going no matter what. Peace.